A bizarre claim now, Ms. Mariwal, which is being made by Shankar Mishra, who is accused of urinating on a senior lady co-passenger on an Air India flight. He claims that she's old, she might have wet herself, she's a Bharatnatyam dancer, has been for 30 years, possibly because of that, because they don't have much control over their urinary functions, Bharatnatyam dancers, allegedly, she possibly wet herself.
I think this is very unfortunate. I think this person is extremely notorious. He is completely a hazard to society, and I think strongest action has to be taken against him. It's so scary. This woman is a 70-year-old woman. This man peed on her during the flight, and there are witnesses for the same, and he has also admitted to it and even apologized to it. Apologized for it, and then now comes up with another story. So I think this is just making a mockery of the entire justice system, and this man needs to be taken to task, and action has to be taken against him. It's really, I mean, I'm just absolutely shocked that after apologizing, after admitting to his crime, he has the audacity to come up and then again try and blame the victim herself. This person has to be dealt with seriously.
Okay. Ms. Maliwal, thank you so much for speaking to India Today. DCW chairperson, they're saying that Shankar Mishra needs to be dealt with seriously because he seems to be notoriously trying to evade the law. Remember, he was absconding. When the Delhi police registered an FIR against him on the 4th of January 2023, Shankar Mishra went missing, quote unquote. It was only a few days later that Delhi police were able to catch him as he was constantly changing his locations. He was picked up from Bengaluru, brought to Delhi, and then the court sent him into judicial custody. My colleague Nalini Sharma is following the proceedings of the court. Nalini, any update from court that you can share with us at the moment, because we believe that the arguments are still underway?
Well, Paulami, what we are given to understand is that the Delhi's Patiala House Court has just said that no police custody will be granted, at least for now, but at the same time they have allowed the Delhi police to go back to the Metropolitan Magistrates Court and make a plea seeking police custody. Now, why they have done this is because they've said that this is a revision petition in which the Delhi police has come before the court, and while hearing a revision plea, they cannot entertain any new grounds that haven't been already stated before. So the new ground that has been brought in by the Delhi police this time around before the Sessions Court is that they want to interrogate Shankar Mishra as to whether or not he had anything to consume before the flight had taken off, whether any alcoholic substance or any other narcotic substance, whether or not he had anything to consume before the flight had taken off. This was not an argument that was earlier made before the Metropolitan Magistrates Court, which is why the court has said that this is a fresh ground on which they are seeking police custody, and on any fresh ground they cannot grant police custody, which is why they have allowed them to go back to the Metropolitan Magistrates Court with this ground and see as to whether or not the magistrates grant custody. But from the Sessions Court, it is a slight relief for Shankar Mishra. He will continue to be in judicial custody. He will not have to go to police custody for now. The bizarre claim that was made by his lawyer during these entire proceedings was anyway not going to have an impact on this plea, because it was essentially a petition by the Delhi police asking for Shankar Mishra's custody, and the Sessions Court has made it very clear that no fresh ground at this stage will be entertained. The police can go back to the Metropolitan Magistrates Court, but for now, no police custody for Shankar Mishra.
Okay, so what does that mean for the police's investigation? Because as far as circumstantial evidence is concerned, there's none. They're investigating a matter which is 2 months old, so to say. So in that sense, all they're left with is the statements that they collect from the accused in this case, the victim in the case, and of course the crew that were present on that flight, as well as some co-passengers. So what does this mean for Delhi Police's case, Nalini?
Well, Paulami, remember, just because Shankar Mishra is in judicial custody does not mean that the Delhi police is not allowed to interrogate him. The only difference is that they are not going to be able to interrogate him as and when they please, because he is not going to be in police custody. But they will still get an opportunity to meet him, to record his statement and to carry on the investigation as they would have done so. So just because he is in judicial custody, that does not mean that there can be no interrogation of Shankar Mishra that can be conducted. So they can conduct interrogation, they can ask him questions, statements, but along with that they will also heavily have to rely on the other kind of statements that they have collected, not only from the crew members and the pilot who was on the flight, but also the co-passengers and the lady herself, who is the complainant in this case, because it is her version and it is going to be her statement that is going to be the most crucial to watch out for. So they will have to stitch all of them together to go ahead and make out a case for trial against Shankar Mishra, because even though most of the charges that he is facing are bailable, there is one charge that is not bailable regarding outraging the modesty of a woman, and it is because of that charge that Shankar Mishra is still in jail, has not been granted bail by the court. In fact, the court, while denying him bail, had gone on to say about how utterly repulsive and disgusting the act by Shankar Mishra was, for which he has now been arrested by the Delhi police. But at the same time, Shankar Mishra's lawyer as well as the public prosecutor, both while giving the arguments today before the court, tried to portray it as if the media was responsible to a large extent regarding the manner in which this case has proceeded, especially in the last few weeks. And it is because of that it is important that the Delhi police gets the custody of Shankar Mishra, so they are able to complete the investigation in a wholesome manner. But now that the court has gone ahead and denied that request, the Delhi police will have to make do with the limited time that they will get to interrogate Shankar Mishra. They will have to record the other statements and make their case on the basis of that.